Alright guys, what it is, it's another video. You already know who it is. I grind Yu-Gi-Oh! Back at it again with another video. And this video right here is a Kashtira new review on why you should play the deck post Banlist January 1st. And first of all, like, comment, subscribe, give me feedback on what you want to see in the future as far as, commentary and things like that and live reaction videos and things like that. So but let's get started in the video. My take on Kashtira is still a viable deck for many reasons, and the reasons I'm going to go over in a minute, because of course it was a tier 1 deck, almost not tier 0, but it was a tier 1 deck. Everybody was playing it. Everybody had problems against the deck, and this deck is still powerful. Some people hate to admit it, but this deck is still the same deck even without a Rise Heart, and the reason why it is because de-shifted, but we're going to get back into that in a minute. But the reason why I say you should play the deck and why the deck is still strong and viable is this reason right here. Unicorn coming back to 3. Unicorn to 2 was okay. Unicorn is the main searcher of the deck. You search any Kashtira spell, and basically you full combo off that. But Unicorn coming back to 3 makes the deck way more, consistent. Full combo, I've been playing the deck with Unicorn and 2. I've been seeing success, but now that it's coming back to 3, I think this deck is consistent enough to basically be a tier 1 deck right now. There's no Rise Heart, but I don't think you need a Rise Heart, and there's other options that you could play to work around that a Rise Heart, banish. But basically Unicorn, full combo, and also the second effect of Unicorn, you still can't ignore the look at the extra deck and banish a card face down. The reason why I say you still could play this card and still play this deck is, number one, it's the main searcher. Number two, people look over this, but the ability to look at your opponent's extra deck and be able to know what possible cards they play and what they could possibly go into is a very, very underrated thing, and a lot of people kind of overlook that. Just being able to look at your opponent extra deck in general and know whatever options that they have and what you could take one option and get that out of the game it shouldn't even be in the game. So having that ability every turn, if your opponent interacts with you on their turn, regardless, your turn, their turn, if they do something, and you can just look at their extra deck and know their options and just take something away and banish it face down, is a very underrated effect that a lot of people overlook. People have to build their extra decks a certain way to play around this. They have to play 2 cards. SP Little Knight is $100 card, and some people have to play 2 just because this card right here could look into the extra deck and banish one face down. So that's a very underrated option. If this card right here, if you was to look at your opponent extra deck, you would most likely pick a Zeus, because Zeus wipes the whole board, or you would pick an Access Code. Access Code basically ends the game. A Boar Sword, a lot of Canadian players play Boar Sword now because a lot of people play D-Barrier, and D-Barrier called Synchro, but they play the Boar Sword for Link Monsters or whatever. But this card right here can definitely take a card out of your opponent's extra deck, their main combo piece, and just take it, and basically they have no way to work around that. And I think this is an underrated effect that a lot of people are not really thinking about, and people forget a format ago people were playing doubles and even triples of cards just because of this one card right here. And this is the one main reason why you should and can still play this deck. I've seen success with it. I think a lot of people, it was a tier 1 deck, and I don't know why a lot of people stopped playing it, just because one card got banned. It's still a powerful deck, and it's still seeing success. The second option why you should still play this deck, Fenrir is still at 3. Fenrir did not get touched on the ban list. This is arguably the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. You special summon one for free, you search another one for no reason, and if your opponent interacts with you, you just banish a face up card face down. And that is, this is the most generic card I think in Yu-Gi-Oh besides SP Little Knight that people are playing triples of, and a lot of people wanted to see it get hit on the ban list and it went untouched. So this card right here is basically the heart of the deck. Besides Unicorn, you would search this, every other deck is playing this, and this card is so powerful that you should still play this Kashtira deck. The third reason Kashtira Birth is still at 3. This is a free normal summon for any level 7. And I want to repeat that, any level 7. The reason why I say that, you'll see in a minute, but Kashtira Birth is a combo extender. After you search off Unicorn, you grab the Birth and you can normal summon the Fenrir. Fenrir search the regular Rise Heart, and then full combo from there with the Shangri-La and everything else. But Kashtira Birth is an underrated card. You could top deck this card and special summon Fenrir from the graveyard. Fenrir search another Unicorn. Unicorn normal summon. It's just this one card right here is full combo. I don't know. It's a game ender too. You could just draw this card and just basically just go crazy with it. And this is another reason why you should and still can play this deck. This one card right here. But D-Shifter. People argue that a Rise Heart is banned. You can't play this deck anymore. I want to argue that a Rise Heart wasn't the problem. This card right here is the problem. The reason why you draw this card right here, you can resolve this effect on your opponent's turn, even if your opponent is going first. At least a Rise Heart, you would have to be going first to make that extra deck monster out your deck. But Shifter, your opponent can win the dice roll, go first. You have this card in your hand. In draw phase, you can activate this effect. And that's in the Rise Heart on your opponent's turn for 2 turns. And a lot of people don't understand that this card right here allows you to interact with your opponent on their turn, going first, regardless what kind of hand they have. At least a Rise Heart, your opponent will have to win the dice roll and be able to make that combo to make a Rise Heart. But this card, just because they drew it, they can interact with you and make you not have no cards in your graveyard. And I don't care if the card doesn't get banned. I play the card, so if the Konami don't want to hit the card, I'ma still play. I don't need a Rise Heart to win. I could just draw this card and resolve it. Like I said, on my turn, your turn, it doesn't matter. At least a Rise Heart, it had to be my turn for me to make it. But this is the main reason and the main ingredients for the deck on why the deck is still playable. As long as it's at 3, I'm still gonna play it. The next option, Pankratops came back to 2. It was at 1, but it came back to 2, and I love it. It's a free extender. The reason why I say it's an extender, you draw Unicorn, search Theosis, or you could play this normal, the Pankratops off Birth, and Pankratops is a free interruption, a free pop, or a free beater. You could beat over any monster with your opponent special summon Fenrir. Okay, you normal summon or special summon this and attack over the Fenrir, and then you get a free pop. Your opponent activates a floodgate. You could destroy it and get it out the way. Like I said, Kashtira Birth is very powerful, and you could just normal summon Pankratops off the Birth, or go in second. If your opponent has more monsters than you, you could just special summon this for free. Or another thing that people overlook that they don't realize, if your opponent has more monsters and you draw 2 Pankratops, you could special summon one, activate Birth, and normal summon the other one, and have 2 2600 beaters on board. People don't realize now Pankratops is at 2. You can summon 2 out. Special summon one, normal summon the other one off Birth, and you have 2 Pankratops on the field if you draw 2. Or you can special summon the Kashtira monster, special summon the other Pankratops, and then normal summon the other one off Birth. Like I said, Birth is almost all of these cards are very powerful and shouldn't be overlooked. A lot of people are overlooking the deck and they're paying when it comes to big events. This deck was tier 1, almost the best, if not the best deck before it got hit, and people act like it doesn't exist, but you will pay when you play against somebody that plays this deck. And another reason why I say this deck is very viable, Deal Bellstar, the Dark Witch. A lot of people are playing this card right now, and this card right here is phenomenal. It's like $30 right now, but you have the warning engine that goes with it that searches this card. I think this card right here is going between $100 to $130 each, and you have to play 3, so that's almost $360 for a level 7 Dark Witch that you could play in Kashtira. Since it's a level 7, all Kashtiras are level 7, so you could basically normal summon this card off Birth, activate its effect to set any Sinful Spoil card. And another reason why I want to explain why this card is so powerful, going first or going second, you can activate this effect and either set the Sinful Spoil Subversion Snake Eye, or you could set the Sinful Spoil of Betrayal Sylvia. I play the Dark Witch in my deck, and I play both of these cards. The reason why I play the Trap is an Omni Negate. Send one Deal Bellstar monster from your hand and face-up field to the graveyard. Target one face-up card on the field, negate its effects. That could be a field spell, a trap, Dark Hole, Raigeki, Triple Tactics Talents, anything. Evenly matched. You're going first. You want to normal summon, a special summon this, and you have a free negate. And that's the one thing that I think Kashtira missed out is they had no Omni Negate. And this card right here is an Omni Negate that could just stop anything that your opponent just tries to interrupt with your board. Kashtira was weak against Lightning Storm, evenly matched, things like that. But this, 1-2 card thing right here saves your whole board just off that. And, your opponent activates triple tactic challenge, trying to take your XE monster. No, you activate this and negate it. Send the witch to the graveyard, activate the witch's effect in the graveyard to bring back the witch, and then you activate the witch effect to set another card. The spell card right here, target one face-up monster on the field, place it in the owner's spell or trap zone as a continuous spell. You can only activate one Sinful Spoil Snake Eye per turn. This card right here is so underrated. Going first, going second. You can activate the witch to set it, and you can activate it the same turn that you set it. You can activate this on the Zeus. You can activate this on the Noir. You can activate this on SP Little Knight to force it to either activate its effect or put it in the spell or trap zone. Your opponent has to do something. So this card right here is definitely out to a lot of cards in the format. It doesn't destroy. It doesn't send the card to the graveyard. It just puts it in the spell or trap zone, and you have like a free interruption on your opponent, and your opponent can't do anything about it unless they want to force their effects. But once they force their effects, that's one less card you have to deal with, and that's definitely why I love playing this card in my main deck. And I think the Sinful Spoil engine in Kashtira makes it very, very viable and very playable, and that's another reason why the deck is strong. One card that I also forgot to add, hold on, let me see. Where is it? This card here. This card. Dimensional Fissure. This card is at 3. People claim that a Rise Heart, is go out the format, but this card, any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. This card hurts a lot of decks in the format. Rescue Waves, Tier, Infernoble, anything that has monsters going to the grave, you can just activate this. You can't get drilled. A lot of cards has to go to graveyard to resolve, and this card right here just interrupts that on your turn. You drop this going first, you could play freely. You might get Ash Blossom, but still, when it's time for your opponent to play, anything that will go to the graveyard, it doesn't resolve, So, and your opponent can't send the grave for cost, so that definitely interrupts them too. And I think this is another substitute for a Rise Heart that a lot of people look over. And you have 3 shifters and 3 dimensional fissures. That's 6 cards right there that you could draw. You could play the pots if you want to. That's another 3 cards that you could draw to draw into these cards right here. And you have your 2 Pankratops and your 1 Dark Witch. That's 3 another level 7s that you could play in this deck. Unicorn coming to 3 and Pankratops to 2. And 1 Dark Witch in your deck. You have so many level 7s in your deck that you could play that this deck is even more consistent. I don't know why people would play it. You could play the Dark Witch package at full, strength, Sinful Spoil, Wanted at 3 and 1 Dark Witch. These 2 cards right here, this one for going second, this one for going first. And I think you're in the game. Regardless how you feel about Kashtira, I think Kashtira is still powerful. I think it won that tournament in Madrid. It got first place. I forget. The Grand Duelist tournament. It got first place. People overlooked it, but it did beat Labyrinth and beat Tier in feature matches or whatever. And that's before Unicorn came back to 3 and Pankratops came back to 2. So Pankratops could be another good extender. The Dark Witch could be another extender for a free special summon or a free normal summon off burst. So a lot of people are overlooking this, but I think these are viable reasons that you could still play Kashtira this format post Banlist January 1st. These are just my tips and suggestions. Comment below and let me know what you think about Kashtira and if it's still a viable deck or if it's some tips that you see that you can play with the deck. But this is my feedback on the deck so far. I've been seeing success with it, and I think it's a very powerful deck still, and a lot of people can still play it. It's very cheap right now to pick up also, since it did get hit the previous ban list before, and a lot of people overlooked it. But if you want to pick this deck up right now, I think you should pick it up. And also in the future, if any more level 7s come out or rank 7s come out, the support comes out, this deck right here will be even more powerful. This is a generic rank 7 deck right here, regardless of how you feel about Kashtira. still one of the most powerful decks in the format. I think it's tier 1.5 if it's piloted by the right player. Fenrir is still at 3. This is the most generic card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Besides SP Little Knight. So the Dark Witch is the most played card. The most played engine is played in the Fire Kings, Rescue Ace. Why not put it in Kashtira? So this is my take on the deck, and I think a lot of people should test it out. You know, come up with a formula for what they like. As long as D Shifter is at 3, I'm playing this deck. You know, Thunder Reeds plays D Shifter at 3, and people complain about it. But if this is one of the most broken cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm gonna put it in my rank 7 deck, and my opponent won't play. So this is my take on the deck. I grind Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment on what you think about Kashtira and if it'll be playable next format. We could have some feedback, and I might make a follow-up video regardless on how people feel and what could, you know, some possible tips for the next video and how people feel about this deck. But I might make a follow-up video post Banlist and see how the deck is doing. But this is my take on the deck, and I hope people could take something from this and play the deck and learn and, you know, have some success with it. So this is my video, and I hope you all like it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next video.